It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories, available for delivery. Dom. The sport is truly at a crossroads, divided in a way that it has never been. But a few things remain sacred. The more things change, the more they remain the same. This week, we get to witness one of those things. Everything gets thrown aside because, Dom, make no mistake about it, U.S. Open Week is back.
Yes.
You excited?
Are we allowed to be excited?
Yeah, why not? U.S. Open.
I mean, that's like live and like all of it.
It's a major, though.
Oh, okay.
The second
media has
biggest
decided.
major.
We're
yeah,
good.
yeah, we're good.
Cool, we're good.
Dom, the fear you're always talking about. Do me a favor. Shove it where the sun don't shine. How about that?
It makes it more fun.
The arena announcer. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Down 3-1, down 3-1.
Oh, I thought the sun.
The country laughing at you.
I was talking about the sun not shining.
The arena announcer thanking Conor McGregor as the Heat mascot is being dragged off the floor and not knowing the person in the mascot costume has been knocked out cold is the height of sports entertainment. I've never felt older than I did 20 seconds ago when I wrote out, shove it where the sun don't shine.
It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty. Oh, it's also pretty white. Like, it's not. Yeah. You also like.
I'm white.
Call people buddy when you get mad.
I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Tip of the cap to Novak Djokovic on winning his 23rd major and forcing me to adjust my top 5 tennis players of all time. Number 5, Martina Navratilova. Number 4, Pete Sampras. Number 3, Roger Federer. Number 2, Serena Williams. And number 1, Novak Djokovic.
Sampras over Rafa.
Yeah, listen, I don't like
Come on,
Rafa
man.
here. It's too weighted, the Grand Slams. He's won too many times at the French. And the French is a weird tournament, as you know.
Who was Sampras
Puerton's
beating up?
won there.
I'm mad. We're gonna have a sports
I mean,
debate.
there are guys that win the French and don't win anything else, and I
Head
don't
to
like
head.
it.
Head to head. You got Sampras over Nadal?
No chance.
Match for my life?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Alcaraz. That's where my money's going.
Yeah, he lost.
I would say
He's a
Alcaraz is better than
he
Sampras.
got hurt, though, didn't he?
cramps.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah.
He's good.
I
Say
think
for
he
crying out
wipes the
loud.
floor with Sampras.
So you're saying Sampras, Nadal, not on clay, though?
You pick the surface.
Okay.
He's
Hard-
won plenty on hard. He's won plenty on grass.
I'll take grass. I would.
Okay.
But no one's better on grass than Pete Sampras.
I mean,
Nobody.
Rafa beat Roger Federer at the peak of his powers on grass.
Look at the majors and how they're weighted. He's won too many French Opens.
It's because he's the greatest clay court player ever. I'm not doing
It's
this
a
anymore.
weird tournament. It's a weird
This is
tournament.
a white argument.
Sampras has never won.
This is the
Sampras
whitest
has
argument.
never won the French, and I'm good with that.
Xenophobic.
I prefer you never winning the French. I mean,
He's gonna hit you with it for crying out loud real soon.
weird surface.
The only way we can
God.
the only way we can get whiter is if we're arguing about Eric Clapton.
You're right.
Who's that?
Here come the aliens.
Okay.
Can he spit? Clap got some bars.
Are you watching the aliens? Are you seeing what's going on with the aliens? There's aliens.
Oh, alien.
And
Yes.
redacted video because
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah. I've seen
private
that.
property.
No, you definitely said Elliot's.
Yeah,
right?
that's
I
what
said,
was
here
like,
come the aliens. I did
was-
not.
I heard Elliot.
I was
No.
I was
Latichi's
trying to
friend,
play
so
along.
it's same.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh.
Please let Brooks Koepka, who hasn't slept in a month, win the U.S. Open. Dom, since you shared your gambling advice of betting against the A's with us on this show, you know what I've done? I've taken a bath. Here's some gambling advice. What?
Huh?
Here's some gambling advice for you. Keep your gambling advice to yourself. My dog, Fitty, was sleeping on my Jets blanket over the weekend, and my wife was sitting right next to him. I walked past them, and I said, Abby, Don't sleep on the Jets. She gave me the loser game show sound.
You deserve to keep Nick.
That's a
Really?
good joke. That's a
That's a
good
good one.
that's a
Thank
good
you.
joke.
Don't sleep on the Jets.
Yeah.
Thank you. Might want to keep an eye on the O's. They're good. The Orioles can mash. I mean, they can. Cheez-It Puffs. Crack cocaine. Dom, you know what the C in Cheez-It Puff stands for?
Crack.
Cocaine.
Oh, you gotta cook it down.
Yep. Nothing but must-wins for the Heat and the Panthers the rest of the way. Sports heaven. John Sterling calling a foul ball coming directly at his head and not knowing it until it hit him in the noggin is peak John Sterling.
Noggin, another great white person. We're
Oh, great.
putting him right up there.
Careful out there, bud.
Yeah.
Protect the noggin.
Dom, with the Heat and Panthers down 3-1, you of course know where their backs are, right?
Against the wall.
Oh, you are good. You are good. They are up against the wall. Amazing. How'd
Right
you know?
where they want them to be.
Yeah. Stash this away in the something to ponder file. Do the Yankees and Red Sox only play each other? No need to discuss it now. Just stash it away for a rainy day. But they do. Panthers down 3-1. Heat down 3-1. You know where our local teams have been pushed to, Dom?
The brink.
Oh, my God. You are good.
I had that one wrong. I thought it was up against the wall again.
Is brink of elimination and back up the Brinks truck the only time we use the word brink? Huh?
Yeah.
It is,
I
right?
think so. It's
There's not another sentence we use it in.
It's like stave. We only use stave when we're talking about the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
Staving off elimination.
Gotta stave it.
nailed it. Are we certain Las Vegas is going to be able to distinguish between the Stanley Cup parade and what normally goes on any given day there? Victor Wembanyama struggles in Pro A finals loss. Exactly. Classic case of putting the cart before the horse.
How do you get Wembanyama right and then get caught up on
Stugotz.
Cart.
Yeah,
Cart.
it happens. Thanks for pointing that out.
Huh?
Wemby.
That's the guy. He can play.
Cart before the horse a little bit, you think?
Nah.
You get 8 points.
That man is not a cart
8
or a
points.
horse. He's
Not
a
nay.
Mac.
In this week's edition of June, Stetson Bennett had some words for the Senior Bowl executive director. Braden Felhoko bemoans the diminishing importance of nose tackles, and Latavius Murray hopes to bring a championship to Buffalo. As long as Stetson Bennett is alive, he will have words for somebody. You agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Always has words for someone. We are a Heat and Panthers loss away from it being just me, you, baseball, and Joey Chestnut. By the way, Latavius Murray, the Bills may win a championship, but I can promise you this. It won't be because you brought them one. I mean, who is Latavius Murray?
I mean, he might make a big play.
Go Knights.
Not bringing them anything.
Difference maker.
Dom, my wife did that thing again. Henrik Lundqvist popped onto my television screen, and she took a sudden interest in hockey by asking, "Who is that?"
Dude, same.
Really?
Yeah. My wife thought Wayne Gretzky was Maury Povich. But she wanted to know all about King Henry.
You know what the H in Henrik stands for? Hunk
Hunk.
Oh.
and hair.
Yeah.
By the way, my wife asked the same question about Wayne Gretzky
Is he Maury
for
Povich?
entirely different reasons. Just who is that? I told her it was Gretzky. She refused to believe me.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is that version in my house. Jalen Hurts, handsome man.
Really?
Yeah. Whew. Great lips. My wife pointed it out to me. Now I can't stop seeing it. I see him like, damn.
King Henry is way too good looking to also have such great fashion sense. Like, you can't have both.
Right.
You usually got to punt on one.
Lundqvist.
Handsome devil. When Miami sports fans come out on the other side of the Heat and Panthers run, they are going to realize they have a nice little baseball team. Huh? All right. Headline, special moment. Andrew McCutcheon with 2,000th hit. Hate to inform you, he's 1,000 hits away from a special moment. Kutch, Neil Everett, hell of a run. Mahalo. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dom,
Nailed it.
those are the weekend observations.
Cooler Lundqvist. Henrik or Vern?
Ooh, Lundqvist for your life.
Henrik.
Burn.
Vern looks like a bubble.
Hey, don't yuck our yums. I'm a Vern guy too. Give me some Vern.
Vern is cool,
Give me
man.
some Vern.
Yeah.
Man, it's sexy, confident.
Lundqvist for your life. Is it like a 3-point shot contest or just one of them? What are they
It's
doing
they're
to
they're
save your
obviously on a catwalk. They're having a catwalk
life? To
competition.
save your life.
Yeah, you got to see who wins. So Stu and I are
You gotta
sitting
choose
there,
the right one,
and
yeah.
we're like, all right. There's a panel of
Lundqvist
judges,
for your life.
and the Lundqvist for your life is obviously a strut off. Give me Vern. Got
Still
hips.
say Henrik.
Mike Ryan mentioned correctly how good the hockey coverage is on TNT with a crew of people who are having fun and are super knowledgeable. Also, another great show that has emerged, God Bless Football, does very well, a lot of fun in the offseason. They've been doing it for years where they're not just doing football all the time, but they had the former general manager of the Cardinals on who told a great story the other day. Steve Keim is his name.
You said God bless football, and I was like, do they do a good job?
Good Morning Football. God Bless Football also does a
Right.
a
Yeah, we
great
never
job.
had Steve Kahn.
I was trying to remember when we had him on. I mean, it's
You
been a
guys had
whirlwind.
Steve Keim on?
It's like,
Wow, this is
branched off
very
that.
flattering.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it for years.
Years.
Yeah.
Well, we have at this
Yes,
point.
Good Morning
Yeah.
Football. My bad.
Yeah.
He told the story of going to dinner. This is exactly how I imagined going to dinner with Joey Bosa would go. He went to dinner with Joey Bosa before the draft, and I'm going to guess that it was before the Kyler Murray draft. And Joey Bosa told him after dinner, while putting him in a headlock, if you take anyone other than me, I will haunt you for the rest of your career. And Keim said on the show I like to call God Bless Football, that is actually Good Morning Football, he said, and he did, and he has. He was absolutely 100% right. I put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Do you expect to be in a headlock after dinner with the Bosas? Those brothers, their father was a famous dolphin bust who then became a strip club impresario. But those brothers,
What a great sentence.
yeah, it is a great sentence. One of the better ones I've heard today. Second best to after the former president's first indictment is how a sentence started earlier.
From one bus to another.
Are they down here, the Bosas?
Down here, how?
Just keep it moving.
I'm afraid to run into them tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this because Mike thinks it's a bad idea for us to be anywhere near this Trump indictment.
I just want to find, does anyone think it's a good idea? Reveal yourself.
Well, what is the content play here? What are we trying to accomplish by being there?
I'm just trying to make my talent happy.
There is a seismic journalistic event happening blocks from us, and we're going to stay indoors hiding.
You mean the NBA Finals?
That's not happening here anymore.
It'll be back, Dan. It'll be back.
Back,
Give it a couple years.
backs against a corner.
Maybe a few more than that.
On the brink.
And then a couple more years after that.
Staying.
Just these. The last time this group of people got together and were upset about something. Yeah, something happened. It was January 6th, and I don't want to be around them. Just
We are
doing
around
flash
them.
paper. Hey, what do you think about Nick Cousins mixing it up? Colin White's had his name on that trophy before. What do you think about Colin White?
Well, they love Colin White.
Oh, that's true.
We are around them. We are on the fringes of this. We will be driving into work around them. You will be taking the train around them.
Yeah, I've seen them, and it's an intimidating presence. It's truly the dumbest timeline, and it's It's an honor to be living in it in some respects because it's so dumb and dangerous, and I don't necessarily feel great about being put in the teeth of it, but I also know that you want someone to go, and you going is a bad idea.
Yeah, that is a bad I was downtown D.C. for the last insurrection, and I wasn't there for the insurrection.
Part one.
Yeah, for part one because Smo coming. But I was doing First Take remotely from the D.C. studio, and I got there at like 6:30 in the morning, and I parked in the garage that I normally park in that's normally empty, and there were 3 pickup trucks, no surprise there, parked right next to each other with a bunch of guys just standing around talking. And I parked, and I had to walk by them, and they stopped talking. I had nothing to say, and we all just kept our eyes on each other. And then I went upstairs, we started doing First Take, and I'm not paying attention to the world because locked in, me and Stephen A. going at it, doing battle. I don't know, maybe it wasn't Stephen A., but somebody. And then the show ends.
You had to concentrate on your take, so you had no time for where threats were, where actual threats were.
My main takeaway is I feel a little bit better considering how difficult it is to park a pickup truck in downtown Miami.
Well, you guys got garages, and I don't think they respect the law. I don't think that parking enforcement is going to slow down the decision-making process. But anyway, I come out, and it is chaos.
Tomorrow will still somehow feel safer to me than it did at the Clevelander.
No doubt.
I say that to say, if you're going down there with real journalistic aspirations, then I get it, I respect it, and more power to you. You're going down there to ask some silly questions. That better be some real funny stuff. That content better be fire.
Well, we almost had fire content last week.
Gustav Forsling can only get you so far comedically.
Last week, when the Stanley Cup was here, I have found through informed sources that Billy Gill was plotting conspiratorially.
No.
Don't let me say what it is.
Well, you're going to give away the punchline. I can walk you through what happened if you'd like so we can get to it.
He's trying to get to it.
So here's the thing. I'm a hockey journalist now, and I was covering the Stanley Cup final last week.
No, you are copying and pasting Roy Bellamy's tweets and then tweeting them out on your profile.
I was retweeting Roy, thank you very much. So I was out there reporting on what was happening in the Stanley Cup final.
A retweet is not what you were doing.
I did retweet what he tweeted.
And then you tweeted it out yourself.
I retweeted it.
Okay.
So I was covering the Stanley Cup final on
You'd be a good
Thursday.
lawyer, Billy Gill.
Then I went back on Saturday and I covered them again. But my coverage was slightly different on Saturday, and it got off to a bit of an eventful start when I was trying to get through security. And some people in this room are aware of what happened because word has spread as to what happened.
It's glorious. This is going to be worth it, Dan, waiting for Billy's punchline.
Well, so here's
I know the punchline.
No, you don't know this one. This is a security situation.
Whole other
You had
animal.
to be there, Dano.
You did have to be there. I almost wasn't there. I almost wasn't here with what happened at security. So I was walking through security, and I, put my wallet, my phone, all that, and then the security alarm went off. It started beeping, and sometimes my belt buckle will have that happen. So I said, my belt buckle set it off, and the security guard told me, "Can't bring any guns in here." And I looked at him straight in the eye, and I said, "What about these two?" And I gave him the tongue sticking it out. And then I turned
with
around.
Your biceps, with your biceps near your ears.
My biceps, yeah. Dangerous game when you're kind of joking with the security guard about bringing guns into a venue. It killed. He loved that. He loved that joke. So I was riding high.
It was the tongue out, Billy. Yeah. That's what it was.
It was a good reaction. I was playing to my crowd. So anyways, we're there. We're covering the game, a couple seats away from Roy. We kind of know with Roy, and things aren't going well. Roy's getting really grumpy while this game's going on. And I kind of know, let me give Roy his space. Let me not get too involved in this. Maybe this isn't the day to be retweeting Roy. You know what I mean? Because it didn't seem like he was down for that day. So I didn't do that. So we go down. In one of the intermissions, I say, you know what, this is a momentous occasion. My brother-in-law, family members, very excited about the Panthers. Let me get them a little keepsake. Let me go down to the store right now before the second intermission. So we go to do that. We may have missed one of the goals while we were doing this, so we missed the first goal. Cougs has to go to the bathroom. It's a whole ordeal. So then intermission comes, and it's really busy. We're waiting at the elevator forever. Forever we're waiting at the elevator. We get in the elevator. We go down a floor, and then the elevator doors open, and a familiar face walks into the elevator. And it was none other than Mike, the keeper of the cup that was here last week.
Wow. Mike Bolt.
What?
That's right, Mike Bolt. Now, I can tell you a tale about that Stanley Cup if you'd like it, but I was sworn to secrecy by Roy, but I'm willing to betray it if you would like that information.
Yep.
Give it to me.
Fake Stanley Cup was here last week.
No!
Yeah.
You idiots.
There's
What?
there's 3 of them.
Yep.
And Mike Bolt is the one that's assigned to the one that just does the media rounds. So the
No
pick,
wonder
the
he
one
got
that you're,
laid off.
What?
Because he wasn't the main cup guy. It all makes sense because he said he got laid off during COVID, and I was like, how could they lay off the keeper of the cup? But if he's just the media cup guy, no one was doing
Are
media
you
tours.
Me,
COVID.
that
Well,
was a fraud they perpetrated on us and our audience.
Well, I just like to say-
Mike was so awed.
I was awed by it.
awed by the fake cup.
I
Mike
just,
tongue kissed it.
I just like to say thanks for listening to God Bless Hockey because this terrain has already been covered. I was outraged. I said, Roy, that cannot be so. And he said, please don't tell Dan because Dan will bring it up. I knew the day before the fake cup was coming. He said, please don't tell Dan. That's going to get out on air.
Oh,
and then
Dan-
it's going to make things really awkward. Because when he said, oh, Mike's coming, I go, Mike is not the keeper of the cup. I know that's not his name.
It's Phil.
Yeah, I knew that it wasn't Mike.
Wow.
So I said that something's not adding up, and then he told us there's 3 Stanley Cups. There's the one that lives in the Hall of Fame, the one that goes around on media tours, and then the one that the players actually get. So anyways, we get into the elevator. We see Mike coming in, and guess what Mike was not with? The Stanley Cup. So Cougs goes to him. He says hi. He's very comfortable, as if Mike just remembers everybody that he runs into ever. He goes, hey, where's the cup? And he goes, I left it at the hotel. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. And I now feel bad saying his name and putting his business out there. But we ride down the elevator. It's a little more small talk. He gets out. He seems to be excited for this whole thing to end. I think it's a whole chore for him walking around with the Stanley Cup. So I go to Cougs. I go, as soon as he leaves, I go, you thinking what I'm thinking? And he goes, what? I go, now's our time to steal the Stanley Cup. I mean, it's just alone in a hotel room
Okay,
here. He
Nick
just
Cage.
told us that this Stanley Cup is by itself in a hotel room. Very reckless, I might say, by Mike. But it was our chance. We could have had the Stanley Cup. You just go down there. You say, hey, we're friends with Mike Bolton or whatever his name is.
Mike Bolt.
Just give me, the key to the room. Just boom, walk out with the Stanley Cup. It was my chance, and I let it go.
You think his name is Michael Bolton?
I don't know.
I'm horrified that none of this is real.
Well, you should be happy because I was going to blame you for the loss because you didn't mind getting your hands all over that fake-ass thing. Yeah, fake. And that's why we're down 3-1.
Wait, so do they dent the fake Stanley Cups to match the dents of the real Stanley Cup? Because there were dents on it.
I'm
and also,
offended. I'm hurt.
Is the real Stanley Cup the one in the Hall of Fame or the one that the players get? Because
It's not Mike's,
if
I can
it's
tell
the
you
one you
that.
get on the ice, that's
the
the
one
real
I got. Yeah!
All right.
Yeah!
Why are we happy?
Yes!
We are back!
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! All
Why
right!
are we so happy?
Yeah!
I just like the street.
Hooray!
Whoa. That is the enthusiasm of Tyler Herro being upgraded to questionable.
Questionable!
Oh,
yeah! Halfway there!
Yes! So happy!
Questionable.
It is, I imagine, hard to just sort of fly into the NBA Finals after not playing for a long time and get up to speed. I remain rattled before we even get into the news of the moment by that Cupic Zarconia news from the Stanley Cup thing. I'm just jarred at how I've been lied to, the way that the way that I've been lied to, the way I don't know. I've heard people who are robbed feel like a certain violation that makes it deeply personal, where you just sort of feel helpless when people steal your things. I feel that this lie of the Stanley Cup is something that I was enjoying a moment last week that is no longer pure, and I can't enjoy this Tyler Herro news with you because I'm legitimately rattled by what just happened here, the revelation.
I didn't want to do it. I got to be honest. I didn't want to do it, and I was going back and forth, tossing and turning at night. And Roy said, "Please don't do it." I said, "I don't want to do it. I don't want to be the person to say that there's multiple." Did Mike say the Stanley Cup or a Stanley Cup?
He didn't. He pretended like all our questions were valid. He didn't give us any hints that we were looking at an imposter cup.
It's funny. I came in last Friday, and Roy said, "Do not tell them. Don't tell them
See?
what happened."
How come Roy knew?
Roy knows. I mean, because he cares about hockey.
So Roy lied to all of us, really.
That's actually very nice of Roy, understanding how happy it made us. And remember, Roy wasn't in the office that day, and I felt very bad about it. But I guess Roy had the last laugh, knowing that we were all parading around a fake trophy. I feel disgusting. Those pictures made me so happy. And I look back on it now feeling like a fool.
Take that photo down. Take it
Take
down.
it down.
Take that
Redact
down.
it. Take that photo down.
I was
That means
pointing at
nothing
the
to
only
me
true
anymore.
one cup in that room at Cafecito Cup. That
We
was it.
shared cafecito with Michael Bolton.
Can't hoist it.
If anyone's off the hook, it's Dan, because he just put his paws all over that thing.
Did you really?
Yeah, he
I did
doesn't
too.
realize the
Not a Panthers fan.
the tradition around it that you don't touch the Stanley Cup.
Oh, I didn't.
Jinxes.
Well, he didn't. Yes.
I didn't.
Dan would have
Congratulations.
said something, though. Dan would have made it very awkward and uncomfortable if he knew.
That's why I was. I think
It was good producing.
I think it was more so
Applause
Roy.
to Roy.
Roy wasn't worried about your feelings. He was worried about
Like
what would
offending
happen.
Michael Bolton, ruining the
Yeah,
segment.
but what a
offending
dirty
the
secret
NHL.
for Roy to keep. Like, I don't even know.
Dirty
I-
secret.
I think that Roy had to feel the way that, like, Madoff and all the dirty fraudsters who know they're frauds, how they have to feel in the shadows when others are thinking that something is authentic. And
Victimless crime. Victimless crime. Roy was trying to give you guys joy. Roy is a joy giver, and
It's like
Billy's not.
the Stanley Cup said, "I love you," but lied.
Olive oil.
It's a fool's game with this Michael Bolton's playing.
I am the victim here. Don't say it's a victimless crime. I feel hurt by being lied to. You may disregard my hurt if you'd like to, but
do
I
not
feel
wish
legitimately
to
hurt.
disregard your hurt. So you're not hurt by being lied to. You're hurt by being told the truth.
That's true. That's actually the truth of this
Right.
scenario.
You were fine when you were being lied to.
Happy
You
as a
enjoyed it.
clam.
I had such a special place in my heart for these photos.
Yeah.
And now they're gone. Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you?
Well, maybe there was an old switcheroo, you know what I mean? And Mike Bolton actually had the real cup, and Phil Pritchard's been. You know, like sometimes when you go around and you have like the really
Like a
prized
parent trap
possession-
situation?
Yeah, kind of.
Ooh, what if the cups are pretending to be each other because one of them likes Phil and one of them likes Michael Bolton?
I'm thinking more so like Ocean's 12, you know what I mean? Where like they have the Fabergé egg,
Ooh, and they
and
do
they have
swap.
the fake one is the one that's like really being moved under guarded like a situation, and then the real one is just like casually like someone's just walking down the street with it, tossing it up like a baseball. You know what I mean?
What a reveal at the end of that movie, by the way. Such a
Spoiler
classic.
alert. Do we need
Been out
some
for like 20 years, Dan.
origins stories on Happy as a Clam? Does anyone here know Happy as a Clam? Why is it because the clam, when it looks like it's smiling, the shell? Like, what
That
is
can't
the
be it.
what? I don't
I'm
have.
pretty,
Do you have another
I'm pretty
theory?
sure that's
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
Maybe you're right. I'll look it up.
I have a friend who goes, happy as a clam. He sticks his tongue out.
Okay.
You guys are so comfortable. I always think
Happy
of
as a
this
clam.
as primarily an audio medium, and you guys are so comfortable making jokes that are only video jokes.
That's your criticism of that? It
Start
wasn't.
directing people to youtube.com/LeBatard
I don't know. I thought
Show.
you were gonna say you're so
So-
comfortable that you think everything you say is worth being said, but no.
So-
The problem with the Happy with the Clam is that it's mainly an
There's-
audio audience.
there
Not
is
that it was just a terrible joke.
There is actually a very interesting backstory to Happy as a Clam. We've apparently been shortening that cliche. It's actually Happy as a Clam at high water, because high tide is when clams are free from the intentions of predators. Surely the happiest time for a mollusk.
Stu was right.
Happy as a clam.
That's cute.
I would think of the entire species as not being happy. I would think it would be a depressed, dark existence.
They don't even
Well,
have brains.
they don't
dude.
have brains. Like, they don't even know.
They don't feel.
They're
maybe.
actually nihilist.
Well, if you don't have a
Grief
brain,
eating clams now is
Yeah.
what Dan's doing.
put it on the
Hubba, hubba.
poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Can you be happy if you don't have a brain?
Yes.
I guess ignorance is bliss.
Oh man, the people who are listening closely just got a treat.
That's the point of just making the joke quietly and letting it sit, as opposed
Yeah.
to pointing.
No, but that one's a good
I
one.
That
think
was
there
a
were
good one.
multiple
Yeah,
legs
a
going.
cunnilingus reference.
Hey,
Somehow
hey.
made it about cunnilingus. Which
Nailed it.
J.E. Skeets for The Athletic.
Come on, dude. Of all the names, Of all the names. Can't go eating clam to J.E. Skeets.
J.E. Skeets from The Athletic
Oh, the windows to the wall.
writes, it's time to address something that's been nagging at me the entire playoffs. How exactly do we describe Jimmy Butler's place in NBA history? It's going to be hard.
It's
It's
gonna be
complicated.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot more complicated if he doesn't win it, because that could be the argument ender and the perfect end to a story arc for this ultra competitive guy that just found a way to up his game in the playoffs. But if he only rides it out to like 2 runners up, like,
But he's
it
had
doesn't
some of the
matter as
most
much.
legendary postseason games we've ever seen.
Yeah, but it's just going to be like one of those. He's going to be an answer on trivia night if he doesn't lift the Larry O'Brien.
Huh.
Is that the way that we're going to measure
Trivia
this?
night, yes.
This stuff, is it going to be laughable? Never mind in 10 years or 5 years, but in a week when people think of us describing this as the best time in South Florida sports history and it producing 2 second-place finishes.
No trophies.
Best time to be a hater.
It did get messy.
Hate.
Blame Messi.
Yeah,
$5,
there's
Dominic.
there are some people saying, well, this is the penance for Messi. And to me,
I'm
it's
not
like,
here for it.
Not worth it.
Get rid of Messi.
I would like a trophy. Although, it did make me right. And I do like that a lot.
Well, I was making fun unrelentingly of Mike Schur because nobody in the national media, not a soul, was as right about the Miami Heat as he was, and he didn't get to enjoy it at all. The being right is one of the great gifts that this gas bag medium gives you when you can just be publicly right. My father was so happy the other day that he said before Game 4 that Jokic has weak ankles.
That's what it's all about.
My gosh, I forgot about that. He
right.
nailed that.
But I'm saying Mike Schur was only 1,000 times more right about what it is that he feared and got to enjoy it not at all because he was the person screaming in the horror house that the killer was coming and nobody was listening to him.
I felt terrible when I said before Game 2 that maybe the Panthers should think about benching Bob, and then the Panthers gave us 7 goals that game. Felt really bad, Dan.
You were right.
Sometimes being right isn't what it's cracked out to be. I'd rather be wrong sometimes than be right.
I'll let you know what it's like if I'm ever wrong.
Can you do me the favor, please, of getting me the Charles Barkley sound of him just saying Bobrovsky's name again because I need some tickling here. And I have one Stugotz.
Phrasing in this segment.
Call Chris Cody.
He also said horror house.
Yeah.
And it sounded like whorehouse.
House of Horrors, Haunted House is what I meant. The winner of the Pardon My Take of the Week last week was me for saying that America hates Jokic. I was surprised by how it is that took off. Hates is not the word I should have used because I don't think that he rises the passions up to a place where there is hatred. But I do think a lot of people feel about him the way that Stugotz does, which is that
Bored?
the excellence isn't flashy enough for them. It doesn't have quite enough personality for them. Even as people leave the arena consistently, like stupefied by what they've just seen, like awed. Lil Wayne and others leave being like, I've never seen anything that exists like that in basketball.
But you leave confused, asking yourself, how? I want to leave actually in awe. Like, I want to be in awe of the guy.
But those are the same thing.
No, they're not. I watched Michael Jordan. I was in awe of him.
But
I
you were
watched
also
Kobe.
how? You were also how does he
No, I
get
was
to
like,
keep doing it?
whoa.
So it wasn't
Big
how.
difference, yes.
Oh, and
yes.
how? Very big difference.
Yep. I mean, I watched Jokic. I'm like, huh?
Oh, well, that's different.
I watched
Wait a
Jordan.
minute.
I'm like, whoa.
Wait, which is it? Because
Huh or
whoa
ha?
and how and ha are 3 different things. They're 3 different states of emotions. You just downgraded your how to a ha. That's totally different. And I think the ha should be before the whoa and the how.
I think you game 1. Then
Right.
you how all the games after.
That's
you don't
fair.
whoa
Right.
until he catches the alley-oop, which he's not going to do.
Right.
Do you ever
Nah.
No
Nah.
Just a huh?
Just a huh, and then how? Yeah. When I want to watch the best player in the world and go, whoa.
I feel like there's been a lot of at least for me in watching these Heat games.
A lot of that.
A lot of
It is a slow, torturous way to end the season. To have that just sort of move. Look at how happy Jessica is. Jessica is.
A lot of Lee. What's the score? Because I'm in the other room and I'm not even watching.
Nah,
much I don't
I
care.
honestly think South Florida is good. We'll have a Bleacher Report graphic, like I mentioned, but
South
it just
Florida's
won't
great.
land.
South Florida is great.
Yeah,
I just don't like any of their sports teams. Wow. I like Miami. Miami's nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Why
the
are you so
streets are
surprised?
Terrible infrastructure city.
Terrible.
Why are you so
Awful
surprised that she likes Miami?
Why are you so defensive? Relax.
It's my place.
It's not. You don't own Miami.
Whoa.
Oh.
Play the Bobrovsky sound of Barkley, please.
I wish I could, but it decided to not work.
I can play it for you, right?
Yeah, I was issuing warnings. Guys, I don't think I'm gonna have Bobrovsky. I hope he forgets. He forgot.
He didn't forget.
Nope, he didn't.
Dominique, we flew you down here for this.
Actually, no, you didn't.
No, we flew him down for a different reason.
I mean, you also didn't fly me down. I got my own flight.
Paid your own way.
Yeah,
You want,
I
you
believe
want
that's
that,
tampering.
You want
if
that
we do.
receipt? You want that
Yeah.
receipt? I mean, you want to take care of it? You're more than welcome to.
Back channel. I got a guy.
Since you try to clown me, let's keep it real.
What are the different reasons? if
Broke
you don't
ass
mind me
company
asking?
ain't pay for my flight.
Just out of
Cheap ass.
Curiosity.
Huh?
The reasons you came down here.
Yeah, I felt like it.
Oh, okay, good.
I might come back tomorrow.
Good.
Who gonna stop me? Who gonna check me, bro?
Greg Cody.
Probably the Proud Boys.
Oh yeah, Proud Boys. Mike, Greg Cody, I'll whoop his old ass.
The Dominique's Foxworth Show. You can catch it via podcast wherever it is.
Oh, wait,
that
no. That's the second time you've made it
You
plural.
have two Dominiques on the show?
Yeah, we're both there.
I made it
twins.
Dominique's.
You
Yeah,
did it
twice
twice
now,
today.
yeah.
A couple of Dominiques cutting it up.
Dominique Foxworth, Dominique
Human
Kravitz.
highlight reel.
I mean, we're on YouTube too, so you can see us both.
Where do they get what it is that you're making?
I mean, it comes from heaven. That's where they can get it. It's a gift from God. You're welks.
I thought it came from the window to the wall.
Till the sweat drips down my